For 200 long years, Earth was silent. No signals left its atmosphere. No ships launched from its surface. No human voice spoke to the stars. To the galaxy, Earth was a dead world. Many alien empires believed humanity had destroyed itself. Others thought humans had run out of power, out of resources, or out of hope. A few even celebrated the silence because they remembered how dangerous humans could be when pushed. But no one truly knew the truth. Earth sat in darkness, covered in clouds and storms, floating quietly around its old sun like a forgotten stone, yet deep under the oceans, inside mountains, and beneath old abandoned cities, something ancient was waiting, something humanity had built in secret long before the silence began. Across the galaxy, life went on. Empires fought, new species rose to power, old alliances broke, and in all this chaos, no one paid attention to the small blue world that humans once called home. But one day, everything changed. The first sign was small, almost like a whisper. A vibration passed through the deep sensors of the Thalcan Empire. Their star mappers detected a tiny shift in the solar system. A pulse, a heartbeat. Something inside Earth had moved. The Thalcan scientists panicked. They knew the pulse was artificial and extremely powerful. They sent the data to their leaders with shaking hands. But before they received orders, a second pulse echoed much stronger than the first. Across the galaxy, alarms activated. Observation stations lit up with warning signs. Energy readings from Earth began to rise at an impossible speed, higher than anything recorded in centuries. The Vesk Dominion, one of humanity's oldest enemies, immediately launched a spy probe. The probe traveled through empty space, silent and cautious, expecting to find a dead world. But when it reached Earth, the truth stunned even its emotionless machine brain. Earth was alive. Massive structures were rising from the ocean's towers made of dark metal and bright energy. Mechanical platforms emerged from deserts. Mountains split open to reveal hidden hangars, and enormous rings unfolded around the planet like glowing halos. For 200 years, the galaxy believed Earth had been sleeping. Now they realized Earth had been preparing. The Vesk probe sent images back to its empire. The leaders of the Dominion felt fear for the first time in generations. They remembered the old human fleets, the wars, the defiance, the unstoppable will of the human spirit. If humans were back, the galaxy would shake again. Inside Earth's deep underground chambers, the ancient engines roared to life. Machines that had slept for centuries began to rotate, connect, and awaken. Giant reactors that once powered cities now powered something much bigger. The ground itself vibrated as hidden facilities unlocked. And then it happened. A beam of light shot from Earth's surface into space, thin, sharp, and impossibly bright. Every sensor in the galaxy caught it. Every empire froze. Every leader stared at the readings with disbelief. Earth was transmitting a message. The light carried a single sentence, sent in dozens of languages from across the galaxy. A sentence all species could understand. A sentence no one expected. We have returned. For a moment, the galaxy went silent, just like Earth had been for 2 centuries. In the darkness of space, far beyond the solar system, fleets stopped moving. Warships paused their battles. Explorers froze mid-flight, because the one species the galaxy feared and respected the most had awakened. Humanity was no longer silent. The engines of Earth were alive again, and the galaxy understood that nothing would ever be the same. The message from Earth spread across the galaxy faster than any war, any discovery, or any disaster. Every empire, every station, every listening post heard the same cold, clear words: "We have returned." No one knew what it meant. No one knew what Earth wanted, but everyone understood one thing: humanity was awake again. For many species, the news was terrifying. The Vesk Dominion, who had once fought brutal wars against humans, held an emergency meeting. Their High Council gathered in a dim chamber filled with glowing data screens. The Vesk leader, a tall reptilian being, slammed his claws on the table. Humans were silent for 2 centuries. He growled. They were supposed to be gone, not preparing new weapons, not building something under their planet. Another council member replied, voice shaking. The energy readings from Earth are too large. They have machines more powerful than anything in the Dominion. The room fell silent. Not even the warriors of the Vesk liked the idea of a stronger, smarter, advanced humanity. Across the galaxy, in the shining worlds of the Elythian Alliance, panic spread through peaceful cities. The Elythians were known for their intelligence and gentle nature, but even they remembered old human history. Humans had once fought for survival with terrible determination. They had won battles they should have lost. They had broken blockades. They had created technologies faster than any species. An Elythian scientist stared at the data from Earth, the glowing towers, the moving machines, the rising structures. "This is not random," she whispered. "This is coordinated. Humans have planned this for centuries." Her partner answered, "How could they build this without leaving any signal, any noise, any trace?" She shook her head slowly. "That is what scares me the most." Meanwhile, the Kortal Empire, famous for its aggression and military might, prepared fleets to intercept Earth. Their admirals believed in strength, not fear. "If humans return," said Admiral Thur, "we will crush them before they rise too high." But even the Kortal trembled when they saw the new images of Earth. The machines rising from the oceans were bigger than their dreadnoughts. Energy spikes from Earth were stronger than black hole reactors, and deep scans showed something even stranger. Earth's gravity field was changing. Something massive was waking beneath the planet's crust. Thurus looked at the readings and felt a cold shiver run through his body. "This is not a simple return," he muttered. "This is evolution." Across the galaxy, rumors spread like wildfire. Some said humans had discovered a new type of energy. Others said humans had found a way to control time itself. A few whispered that humans had died out long ago, and something else, something worse, had taken their place. But the truth was far more shocking, hidden deep inside the solar system. Beneath the rocky surface of Europa, an ancient human station powered on lights that had been dark for 2 centuries flickered to life. The station scanned the galaxy with precision, calculating positions, ships, fleets, and risks. Then it released another message: "Prepare for Phase 2. Only humans understood what that meant. The galaxy did not dot back on Earth. A new event terrified every empire. A shadow rose from the Pacific Ocean, a metal structure miles wide. It lifted slowly into the sky, dripping water like a rising god of steel. A human ship, not a simple vessel, not a cruiser, not a dreadnought, a planetary-class ship, bigger than anything the galaxy had ever seen. Its engines glowed with silent blue light. No roar, no heat, just calm, unstoppable power. The ship locked onto a distant alien fleet, not to attack, not to threaten, but to send one final message: do not interfere. The galaxy panicked, because when humans used such calm words, it meant war was the last thing they wanted, but they were ready for it. The galaxy watched in fear as Earth's massive ship rose into space, glowing with silent blue energy. No one understood how such a giant vessel could move without sound, heat, or visible engines. But it moved smoothly, calmly, like it was alive. That alien fleet that Earth had locked onto belonged to the Elythian Alliance. They were peaceful explorers, not warriors. Their ships were thin, elegant, and bright like floating silver leaves. They had come only to investigate. Now they regretted it. On the flagship Seren Light, Captain Alari stood frozen, staring at the readings on her screens. "Energy level, impossible," she whispered. "What are humans powering this ship with?" Her crew exchanged nervous looks. No answer. No data from their sensors made sense. The human ship slowly turned, its dark hull reflecting the sunlight like a moving shadow. No weapons were visible, but every alien in the fleet felt as if the ship was staring straight at them. "Captain," Alari swallowed hard. "We must show peace," she said. "Open a channel. Broadcast greetings in every language." Her officers obeyed. Signals were sent in human languages, old Earth tongues, ancient trade codes, and friendly greetings used across the galaxy. No reply. Only silence. The same deep, heavy silence that Earth had given the galaxy for 200 years. Inside the human ship, in a dark command chamber, screens lit up. A single figure stood supported by machines. A human pale.com, connected to cables that carried data into his body. He was a navigator, one of the humans chosen long ago to guide the ships of the Ascension grid. His voice was soft but steady. "They are peaceful. They seek answers. They are afraid." Another figure appeared beside him, her eyes glowing with the light of stored knowledge. "The galaxy has changed," she said. "They do not understand what we built." The navigator nodded. "Then we will show them." Carefully. Back outside, Captain Alari watched as the human ship's lights slowly shifted. A thin beam of white energy scanned her entire fleet, not attacking, Just analyzing. The Elysian crew held their breath. Every alarm was ready. Every pilot waited for the order to flee. Then finally, a message arrived. A single sentence, a single voice. It echoed across every ship of the fleet. Stand down. Earth is not your enemy, but we will defend our rise. The voice was calm to calm. Not angry, not proud, just sure, completely sure. Captain Alari felt her heart pounding. She sensed the warning hidden behind the gentle tone. What do they want? Whispered one officer. Why return now? Alari didn't answer. She didn't know. Before the Alliance could respond, something strange happened. The space around the human ship bent like a mirage in heat. The giant vessel blurred, distorted, and then jumped forward. Without using warp. No engine trails, no energy spikes. It simply vanished from one place and appeared in another. How did they do that? An Elysian navigator gasped. That is not warp. That is not slipstream. That is nothing we know. But the horror had only begun. Across the galaxy, other sensors began to flash. Reports arrived from Mars, from Jupiter, from outer colonies, from uncharted sectors. Human signatures, human ships, human jumps. One message from an outpost shook every empire. Human vessels detected outside the solar system. They used the same impossible jump. They are everywhere. Captain Alari stared at the screen with wide eyes. This was not just a return. This was a reveal. Humans had not been silent because they were weak. Humans had been silent because they were building something greater than the galaxy had ever imagined. And now, the galaxy would have to face the truth. Humanity was not only back. Humanity was spreading. Across the galaxy. Chaos spread like a storm. Every empire tried to understand one impossible truth. Humans were not returning with an army. Humans were returning with something far greater. Strange jumps, unknown energy, silent ships appearing in places the galaxy never expected. Scientists, soldiers, leaders, all of them tried to answer the same question. What had Earth been building for 200 years? Far from Earth, deep in the quiet systems of the Elysian Alliance, a council of scientists studied the new data. The room was filled with holograms, pictures of Earth's rising towers, glowing rings, and giant machines. A young Elysian analyst pointed at a pattern on the screen. These structures are not random, she said. They form a network, a complete planetary grid. Her mentor leaned closer. What kind of grid? She hesitated. Then she whispered, a grid that connects everything. The older Elysian froze. That cannot be. No empire has ever built something like this. The young analyst nodded slowly. Humans have. Meanwhile, the Cortal Empire was in full panic. Their war leaders shouted across a long table. Humans are preparing for battle. They are everywhere. We must strike first. No, fools. Their ships move without engines. You cannot fight what you cannot track. Admiral Thuros watched silently, his eyes locked on the hologram of Earth. The energy coming from the planet was rising again, bright, wild, unstoppable. He whispered, "This is not a war machine. This is something larger." But his fellow commanders ignored him. They prepared fleets. They charged weapons. They aimed their guns toward the solar system, and then everything changed. In the deep void near Jupiter, a massive human station activated. It was bigger than any alien fortress, shaped like a rotating ring of metal and light. Human engineers connected to machines through glowing cables spoke quietly. Core Point 3 online. Ascension. Cables aligned. Grid threads stable. A final engineer placed his hand on a smooth silver console. "It is time," he said. The entire station lit up with blue-white light. Energy surged through space, forming invisible lines between Jupiter, Earth, Mars, and faraway stations hidden inside asteroids. These lines connected, merged, formed a shining web across the solar system. The Ascension grid was awakening. Across the galaxy, sensors went wild. Every empire saw the same terrifying image on their screens, a new network forming around Earth, connecting star to star, world to world. The Elysian scientist whispered, "It links planets and dimensions. It bends space instead of traveling through it. This is how they jump without engines." Her mentor finished. They looked at each other with fear. Humans had not discovered faster travel. They had created a new type of universe inside space itself. Deep beneath Earth's crust, the final engine unlocked. A sphere of light rose into the sky like a new sun. It pulsed once, twice, then merged with the grid. A wave of calm energy expanded outward, sweeping across the solar system. In distant alien worlds, night skies suddenly glowed faintly blue. Children pointed. Adults stared. Soldiers froze. Everyone saw the same thing. Earth was shining. At that moment, a message left Earth and reached every empire at the same time. The ascension grid is now active. Humanity is rising. On warships, commanders felt their courage crumble. On peaceful planets, citizens felt hope and fear mixed together. On ancient worlds, old enemies remembered why humans had always been dangerous. Because humans didn't just build ships. Humans didn't just build weapons. Humans built the future. And now it was awake. The moment the ascension grid came online, the entire galaxy held its breath. Across thousands of worlds, people looked up at their night skies and saw something impossible. A faint blue light spreading like a soft wave, moving from star to star. The light came from Earth, from humanity, from the species the galaxy thought had vanished. Now the truth was clear. Humans had not disappeared. They had evolved. In the capital of the Alethian Alliance, millions gathered around giant screens. The broadcast from Earth had not stopped. Instead, the blue light grew brighter, forming a shape in the sky above the solar system, a gigantic human silhouette made of pure energy. It was not a weapon. It was a beacon, a message. On distant mining planets, workers dropped their tools and stared. On peaceful garden worlds, families stepped outside to watch the strange new star. Even on war-torn planets, soldiers paused their battles, unable to look away. A voice began to echo across every communication line in the galaxy. Calm, clear, human. This is the united network of humanity. Empires froze. Leaders leaned forward in fear. Every living being listened. For 200 years, we prepared for this moment. We did not hide. We did not run. We built a new way to reach the stars. The galaxy trembled, because humans were not speaking like conquerors. They were speaking like something far more powerful. A civilization that no longer feared anything. Inside the human ascension control chamber, the navigator, one of the few humans linked directly to the grid, stood surrounded by glowing pathways of light. He watched the galaxy's response in real time. Every fear, every signal, every weapon pointed toward Earth. He spoke again, his voice amplified through the grid. We do not seek war, we seek balance. The Cortal War Council stared at the message in disbelief. They had prepared fleets to destroy Earth, but those fleets now detected human ships everywhere, around their planets, their borders, even their hidden stations, not attacking, just watching. One Cortal general whispered, if they wanted us dead, we would already be gone. For the first time in their history, the warriors lowered their weapons. In the Vesk Dominion, old memories returned. Memories of wars with humans, of battles that ended with unexpected human victories, of humans who fought even when outnumbered. Now, they watched the shining network around Earth and felt something rare. Respect. The Vesk leader bowed his head. Humans have not risen to conquer us, he said. They have risen to surpass us. The human voice continued across the stars. The ascension grid will not control your worlds. It will stabilize them. It will protect them from threats beyond your borders. We rise not alone, but with the galaxy. A wave of calm energy spread through space. Weapons powered down across dozens of fleets. Tension faded like mist. Even old enemies felt peace settling in their hearts. On Earth, massive doors opened in the newly awakened towers. Human ships, small, large, and enormous, launched into space. They moved silently, gracefully, without engines or flames, riding on the power of the grid. Some ships flew toward war zones to stop conflicts. Others flew toward isolated planets to bring aid. And many flew into uncharted space to expand humanity's reach. Humanity had not returned as soldiers. Humanity had returned as guardians. Across the galaxy, one truth echoed. When Earth's silent engines awoke, the galaxy realized humanity had not simply survived. Humanity had risen, not as conquerors, not as rulers, but as the unstoppable force the galaxy always feared and secretly needed. The era of humanity had begun again, and nothing in the universe would ever be the same.